Get this video to 5,000 likes, 1,000 people. Comment and tell me who was the better Prime Minister, PJ or Siaga. Comment and tell me how they will be provided. Subscribe to the channel. Prayer Tuesdays continues. Don't go to listen to this.
To do it. And one of the things that worries me is that the government is operating as though the time will never come when they will be in opposition. And to make it happen requires work. And that work requires unity. Unity of purpose. Unity of action. Unity of using all the talents and skills that are available to those in the progressive movement that want to create a Jamaica of love, of peace, of inclusive prosperity.
All right, welcome everybody. Now, condolences are in order also as well, my people, as the dropping continues. Man in Manchester found dead. We're going to talk about that in a different segment. You understand what I say? Now, who was the better Prime Minister, PJ Patterson or Edward Siaga? 1,000 people comment and tell me, everyone. Okay? Now, of course, many people would say that PJ Patterson served the longest, so he has to be the best. While many persons have said, well, Edward Siaga revolutionized the politics in Jamaica. That's what I've been hearing. You understand me? So two great candidates. Now let the comrades and the JLP, which is the labor rights, decide. Labor rights, comrades, everybody. Who was the better Prime Minister, PJ or Edward Siaga? PJ Patterson or Edward Siaga? You understand? You comment and tell me what's going on. Now, the Patterson's legacy continues on what PJ Patterson did for Jamaica. You understand? What PJ Patterson did for Jamaica? Well, we will now find out, because according to the labor rights, my people, PJ Patterson drove Jamaica into the brink of depression and drove Jamaica into debt. Right? According to what is being said by the labor rights, everybody, PJ Patterson, of course, ruined Jamaica. These are allegations. By the way, I have no proof of that, because that wasn't in my time, so I can't even speak on that. But you decide and tell me who was better, PJ Patterson or Edward Siaga. You understand me? Okay? Where that is concerned. Now, of course, the IMF, FinSAC, and a whole heap of things can be named under the PJ Patterson administration. Okay, the greatest transference of wealth from the poor to the rich politicians is what is being said by the Labour Party. Now, this is the legacy of PJ Patterson continuing. All right, let us read from it, my people. Now, Patterson's housing resolution merits special recognition through innovative choreography with trade unions, sugar industry, Housing Limited, and Jamaica. His administration orchestrated enormous housing solutions island-wide, doubling the construction of housing in one parish alone, which is St. Catherine. Now, PJ Patterson, they say, masterfully navigated Jamaica's exodus from formal IMF bondage in 1995, which entails the success passing of 13 consecutive quarter tests with the adverts of the global market and the navigative NIR. Jamaica had no option but to undertake structural adjustment, and this is what they're saying. Patterson administration sought to cushion the trauma through the very partnership and programs Morris callously dismissed. Now, the contrast illuminates everything. Patterson severed Jamaica's dependency chains while simultaneously constructing the social safety architecture and the shielded the vulnerable during the transition. Now, before he retired, Jamaica had been restored to a footing, but when it became acceptable in the capital markets, the institutions he created to ensure adequate oversight of financial entities and protect depositors and policyholders remain in place, so the Portia Simpson Miller and Peter Phillips could perform resurrection surgery to the shattered economy they faced in 2012 on their return to governance. History will regard kindly the values and attributes programs designed to achieve an acceptable social order which would embrace the tenets of self-respect, tolerance, and eventually eradicate political tribalism. This wasn't therapeutic or rhetoric, it was strategic recognition that structural transformation requires cultural metamorphosis. It is now universally acknowledged that the partisan and the derailment has been Jamaica's determinant. While Patterson towers as the architect of Jamaica's modern infrastructure revolution narrative, contradicted by imperial evidence and electoral history still persist, others might seek to build on the surrounding foundations he built, but his footprints remain indelible. Patterson's administration demonstrated access to land ownership, decent shelter, water, electricity, and telecommunications on revolutionary scales. These weren't accidents, they were, well, deliberate fruits of visionary leadership that understood the development meant structural surgery, not superficial therapy. Leave a like on the video. Let us continue. Now, Maurice Mask, as a concerned PNP member, convinces exactly no one the impressive record and electoral triumph cannot be blunted by distorted statistics to deny the progressive reform which Patterson championed and his methodology, quarantining 3 years of necessary structural adjustment while ignoring 14 years of transformational achievement, epitomizes everything toxic about bias and prejudice over performance. The Jamaican people passed superior judgment in 1993, 1997, and 2002. Between 95 and 2000, the number of motor vehicles has increased over 100%, electricity usage by 35%, and by 2002, there were over 1 million cellular phones. These, they say, they will recognize progress when they witness the repeatedly returning the leader who delivered land, housing, healthcare, education with dignity. Morris can message his selective 3 years window indefinitely, but history and the democratic will of the people have already delivered their irreversible verdict. Patterson's legacy will endure. The master architect of modern Jamaican economic and social infrastructure, the leader who successfully shattered IMF dependency while laying the foundation of sustained development. That legacy stands not over perverse benediction, but on documented achievements and democratic validation. That's what they're saying. Okay, let's get the record straight and get it right. That is what they're saying for the people who seek to tarnish PJ Patterson's reputation as a politician. Leave a like on the video, share the video if you agree. Let us go on, my people, to our condolences right now and to the families and our RIPs. Now, missing man found dead in Manchester, Jamaica. Decomposed body believed to be that of a man said to have been mentally challenged was found in bushes in the George Reed, Manchester area on Monday. Now, relatives believe that the body is that of Marlon Corinthians, 46, a resident of George Reed, who was reportedly last seen on Saturday, September 20. A missing persons report was also made on Sunday, a week later, as family members and friends got worried about the man's whereabouts. Now, according to the reports, preliminary reports are that, of course, the mid-afternoon on Monday, residents in George Reed searched an overgrown area after smelling a foul odor. A woman said she asked a man from the community to use machetes to debush the area. After he chopped the bushes down, he found a part of a foot in the ear and he called the police, she told journalists. Now, the woman who identified herself as a friend of Corinthians said she last saw him 9 days ago. RIP, condolences to the family. Bright Users continues.